Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Good evening to the Descendants and Zombies universe. I, of course, am the most recognizable voice in the history of Descendants and Zombies, having everything to do with how much each and every one of you guys love this YouTube channel with all of your heart. Of course, my name is Jonathan Clarke, and it is once again my honor to join you on this beautiful evening to celebrate the 8th anniversary of Zombies, which is something that we've all looked forward to and we've never ever forgotten because it's held a very special place in our hearts. I want to take this moment to say I do apologize because I seem to be suffering from the common cold this evening, but according to Google, if you drink herbal tea, it will cure your cold. So let's find out if it's true. Oh my, and yes, that is a Mickey Mouse coffee mug. Stop laughing. And yes, I am wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt because Mickey Mouse was always my favorite Disney character. Again, stop laughing. I have joined you guys tonight because I have never felt more honored to create wonderful videos that relate to thousands of people who love Descendants and Zombies with all of their hearts. Simply because I could tell this story far better than any content creator on YouTube has ever been able to tell these stories or come through with. Simply because I believed in them just as much as each and every one of you did. From the very first night that we saw Zombies, which was all the way back on February 16th, 2018, which many of you are probably saying perhaps, geez, Jonathan, that was forever ago. I'm like almost 20 now. Well, the thing is, when Zombies first came out, you were really young, and the thing that you saw from Zombies was something really special. For its beautiful music, its beautiful story, because unquestionably and truly undoubtedly, the love story between Zed and Addison will go on to hold a very special place in each and every one of your hearts, including yours truly. Because to be honest with each and every one of you, the story of Zed and Addison was quite beautiful. It was rather emotional, and it touched a place in my heart that it's never ever left, because Zed and Addison went on to hold a very special place in my heart, as they did yours. So because they did just that, which is what they intended to do, I think forever and always that for a child out there watching this video who loves Zed and Addison with all of their heart, they should be given more of a reason to believe in them than perhaps ever before, which includes never having to say goodbye. Because, and when Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires premiered, that's exactly what we felt we had to do. We had to let go. But in all honesty, guys, I've never wanted to let go of characters that were so special to each and every one of us, that meant so much to each and every one of our hearts. I think their songs, their storylines were so beautiful, and they unquestionably brought tears to our eyes because together we cried together, we laughed together, we experienced every moment in the book and the history of Descendants and Zombies, and we've had no regrets, and we've never looked back since. We've looked back on the history of Descendants and Zombies, and many people have chosen to criticize it because oftentimes Zombies was criticized for how predictable its plot was. But even with how it was criticized for how predictable its plot was, over 2.5 million people tuned in on February 16, 2018, and every single one of them took something special away from that presentation. And what they took away that was so special was something different for every fan. Many of you loved the dolls. Many of you loved the storylines. Many of you loved the music. Many of you loved how beautiful Addison was. Because Addison was a beautiful character. And Zed really did appreciate her for the person that she was. Even though he struggled on times to try to understand her for the person that she may have been, they eventually would fall head over heels in love with each other and forever and always remain with each other, which is something I think is possible for everybody out there. And that is the one thing that you forever and always got to realize about me, is that I support everybody who's ever had a dream. That could come in the form of true love. That could come in the form of accomplishing your goals. Whatever they may be, I've always believed in you, and I think every dream that you've ever had, along with every goal that you've ever set for yourself, is possible no matter how far away you seem to be from your dream, which the reoccurring theme of Zombies always was that it was about acceptance. And I think that because it was always about acceptance, that's what was so special for everybody. Because more times than we often choose to admit, there are people out there who even watch these videos, and I know this for a fact, who struggle with acceptance and trying to find it in a world that oftentimes is very difficult. So Zombies was exactly what everybody needed. And let's be honest, there are far too many people out there who are zombieing out all the time, who really never take into consideration just how precious everybody is in this lifetime and the critical roles that they play. But I think that zombies really allowed us to put our own lives into perspective, what we may have been going through, how we may have felt misunderstood, every mistake that we've ever made. And zombies really presented a chance of hope for everybody out there, a second chance, if anything. Because after falling into this niche, I have been a radio show host and a YouTuber for many years. And the thing that you guys did for me was that you accepted me as a part of this niche and you allowed me the opportunity to share with you my story. A story that's been heard by thousands, if never millions of people, and has never ever been forgotten. What you guys truly did for me was something that I will never forget any of you because of, and because you did something so special for me, I wanted to give back to your community. And how I wanted to give back to your community was I wanted to share with you my thoughts, my predictions, my reviews, my analogies on Descendants of Zombies, and let you know how I felt this was going to go, how it was going to turn out for everybody while giving you hope. Because over 95% of the videos that you watch, especially today, with the anniversary of Zombies behind us, people are criticizing it to this very day and really never giving it much of a chance. They are simply just saying in 2 or 3 sentences how they felt about the Zombies franchise and its premiere, which happened all the way back on February 16th, 2018, and they're leaving it at that. And they're letting bygones be bygones, regardless of how they may have felt about the franchise. I think that as YouTube content creators, there is a lot of pride and there's a lot of dedication in understanding your audience, which means creating and developing content that resonates with you and that touches your heart. So that may have came in the form of how you thought Edison was the most beautiful character you ever saw in your life, or how Zeb was so cool, and how the relationship was a relationship that you yourself wanted to be involved in. And I think that Zombies really encouraged us that this was really possible because over 3 chapters of Zombies explored the relationship of Zed and Edison. No matter how many challenges they faced, they always realized that they wanted to be with each other more than anything else in the world. And I think we all go through something similar in our own lives because we may be going through a relationship where we may feel misunderstood, or a relationship that we want to spend that one person with the rest of our lives no matter what the cost. I think it was a really beautiful story, and many of you who watched Zombies for the first time ever on February 16th, 2018 took something special away from it because you were so excited to watch this very first time ever movie. We had no idea how it was going to be responded to by Disney fans, but it felt nothing short of phenomenal. And the reason why it felt nothing short of phenomenal was because it had everything to do with how you guys truly believed in it. And you gave people like me a chance to be heard and seen by more people than ever before. It is very rare that you will come upon a guy on YouTube who will share with you his story and his thoughts on how he became a fan of Descendants of Zombies. Very few guys will sit down and spend hours sharing with you his thoughts on Descendants of Zombies. I will be very honest about that. But I've had the time of my life after having moved into this local residency near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, which is legit. There actually is a soda plantation and a chemical plant 5 minutes away from me, which I know could explode at any given moment. And trust me, nobody ever wants to do that because living your life in fear of your local residency exploding at the hands of a soda plantation or a chemical plant is nothing anyone ever wants to go through. And I've shared with you so many crazy stories ever since having lived here about how girlfriends may have been vampires, roommates may have been werewolves. But I told you these stories to try to put smiles on your face in an attempt to resonate with you. Because I think that there are way too many people out there who just state how they feel about something and they leave it at that in a probably 7 to 12 minute long video. What's the point of a 7 to 12 minute long video? There really is no point, and it never really serves a purpose. But if you can show everybody how you feel about Descendants of Zombies through your emotions and how you tell your story in your version of Descendants of Zombies, that's what makes these videos so special. I often showcase how Mickey Mouse is my favorite character and how I love all these Disney characters that Walt Disney created because undeniably they hold a very special place in my heart and will continue to for many years to come. And I got to be honest with you guys, I've loved your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars from the very first moment my eyes laid eyes on people like Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, Meg Donnelly. The list goes on. Ruby Rose Turner is always someone who I can never forget to mention because I think I mention Ruby's name in every video. And I'll tell you why I mention Ruby's name in every video. It just had something to do with how the girl was just so genuinely sweet. Ruby was the personification of kindness. And I think we all took something special away from people like Meg Donnelly and Ruby Rose Turner. The list can go on for forever, so I'll spare you the pain of having to go through that. But I think that we really did take something special away from the role models and the examples they set in the franchises Descendants of Zombies, because they demonstrated just how much of a profound impact kindness can really have on a person's heart. They really changed my life and allowed me to put things into perspective perhaps better than I ever have. And ever since I saw Ruby Rose Turner's portrayal of the young Queen of Hearts, I wanted to be just as kind as Ruby. And I'll be honest with each and every one of you. It will take me an entire lifetime, and perhaps another, to be even half the person that Ruby Rose Turner is. I will never become half the person Ruby Rose Turner is, for just how genuinely sweet she is and how much she cares about each and every one of you. You guys have forever and always held a very special place in my heart for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, because I had no idea that this was going to happen for me. I watched zombies just like each and every one of you. It was a couple of days removed from Valentine's Day. I was feeling really downhearted because I had no Valentine. And then zombies happened from out of nowhere. And I think we all took something special away from it. We all had a favorite song, a favorite moment, regardless if it was the iconic elevator scene between Zed and Addison, when Addison first discovered she had history with being a werewolf and her family's origins, when Zed and Addison shared that final kiss and the zombies fought down the vampires, which was referred to as the final kiss of the franchise. We have all taken something special away from it. I think that no matter what the location, no matter what the time of year, no matter what point zombies had gotten to, it forever and always held a special place in all of our hearts. We were passionate about collecting the Descendants of Zombies merch, the Descendants of Zombies dolls, which many of you have spent thousands of dollars on. I know because I've seen it. And because of how much time and effort you put behind your Descendants of Zombies merch and collecting it, I really encourage that, because I was passionate about collecting whatever I was passionate about, no matter if it was wrestling figures, Pokemon cards, Pogs, different board games that I felt passionate about, which is often why I can relate to Freya Sky and her passion over board games, over video games. It's really, really fun when you can relate to so many wonderful people. One of my favorite all-time board games were either 13 Dead End Drive or Electronic Battleship, which perhaps many of you are too young to remember. I know they remade Battleship into a movie in 2011 starring Rihanna, but you used to be able to get this Electronic Battleship many years ago, and it was really fun to play. It would take you about an hour to sink your opponent's battleship because it was electronically developed, but it was a really beautiful game. And I think through the years, that's what's allowed us to connect to so many wonderful people, is how we relate to them with our passions. Like, you know, there are millions of people. The thing that we've got to realize there are millions of fans of Descendants of Zombies out there who just want to hear something nice about their favorite stars. Because even with how big this universe seems to be at times, there's always that one girl who loves Descendants of Zombies with all of her heart. So because I know that, and I find time in appreciating that, I've always wanted you guys to know that there's nothing ever wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. They have gone through personal struggles, both personally and professionally. They've dealt with illness. They've dealt with, heartbreak. And I think that really just puts into perspective that they are just like each and every one of us. And no matter what we may be going through out there, they are going through the same thing. And that's why they've been able to be a part of something so special, and that was anything really, really relatable. It was really relatable what they were going through, and they just wanted you guys to know how they truly felt. To be honest with you guys, Zed and Addison's story made them two of my favorite characters of all time. And I've had many characters over the years that Disney has created that I've been really huge fans of, like Rapunzel and Eugene, Aladdin and Jasmine. I can go on for forever, because I remember in 1992 when I saw that iconic carpet ride scene with Aladdin and Jasmine, when Aladdin took Jasmine by her hand from the balcony of the palace, and he simply asked her, "Do you trust me?" And then when she finally accepted his trust, they went on a magical carpet ride that the two of them never wanted to be over and never wanted to end. It was really special. It was a really special moment for every Disney fan. And I never forgot how much they would go on to mean to each other's hearts. And then Rapunzel and Eugene happened by 2010. And I remember just how lively these characters were, and just how appreciative they were of life. And I think everybody who was a fan of Tangled, either the movies or the original animated series in 2017, we all took something special away from it because we just loved Rapunzel. We loved her voice, portrayed by Mandy Moore, and then Zachary Levi happens to really bring Eugene to life, which really adds explosive dynamite to this recipe, and it became one of the greatest Disney classics of all time. And to be honest with you guys, Rapunzel will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart for having been my favorite Disney princess. And I'm really excited, even though a lot of names have dropped out of the new cast of Descendants, like China Anne McClain, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, who have you. I think that we have a lot to be excited about when it comes to Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, because even with how stories have been believed to have been told and completed, there are so many stories that have yet to begin. And so many wonderful stories that we have yet to be a part of. For instance, the story of Freya Sky and Malachi Burton, who people have been talking about for what feels like forever. I know that Zombies 5 feels like it's never going to happen. It's forever away. But even though it feels like it's forever away, we are that much closer to Zombies 5 than perhaps many of us ever realize. And I think as YouTube content creators, we can really offer encouragement that Zombies 5 is going to happen. I remember years ago when I would be watching pro wrestling, and there was a commentator who always used to be by the side of the original commentator, and his name was Jerry the King Lawler. And no matter how many times the main commentator would doubt something was going to happen in professional wrestling, he would always be quoted in saying, "It's going to happen." And the thing is, when you really think about it, even with how crazy that analogy sounds, no matter how much of you were in disbelief of anything happening in pro wrestling, he was right. It would always happen. No matter how crazy your predictions seem to have been with pro wrestling, it would eventually happen. I mean, years ago, stories like Hercules were thought of as just a guy who would pick Mount Olympus up over his head and throw it into outer space. And then Disney shows up and tells his version of the story, Hercules, that's watched by millions of people. And Tate Donovan goes on to give one of the greatest portrayals of Hercules ever told. And then we have this battle between a hero and a villain, which was forever classic, between Hades and Hercules, which many people never ever forgot, that still to this day holds a very special place in our hearts. And how Disney would take a story like Cinderella, and he would tell it from his perspective, and we're celebrating over 75 years of Cinderella this year. And then you think about Malia Baker and how wonderful of a job she did as Cinderella's and Prince Charming's daughter, Chloe Charming. I think it was really second to none. It was truly breathtaking. It was really beautiful. And I think that it's going to take a long time before Disney comes out with franchises such as Descendants of Zombies that go on to achieve so much recognition, that become so revered. But again, it's all up to you, because what Disney does is one Friday morning during a board meeting with probably 500 people, they throw a concept in front of us on either Disney Channel or Disney Plus, and they wait, and they wait, and they wait some more. And they go to catering, they eat 3 or 4 muffins, they come back and they wait some more, and they go to catering again, eat 3 or 4 more pies, and they simply just wait for you to respond. And when you finally say, "Yes, I love Descendants of Zombies," they run away with it. And they start coming up with more ideas, and they think, and they think, and they think, and they think some more. And the thing is, it becomes something so beautiful because of how it means so much to each and every one of you. So as reviewers on YouTube, it doesn't give us the right to take away any hope or dream that you may have ever had about Descendants of Zombies that is found within the depths of each and every one of your hearts. We obviously all took something special away from both Descendants of Zombies. We have forever and always held a very special place in our hearts because of how much these franchises have forever and always meant so much to us. And I think that these franchises have forever and always deserved to be celebrated and honored, and that's what I intend on doing as we look ahead to 2026 and the premiere of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, which may be a long way away from a lot of things happening for it, but it will eventually come to pass, and it will be something so magical that many of us will never ever forget. And we will take away so many unforgettable moments. We will all have favorite characters, and we will be so excited to find out what happens next. Because for those of you who are wondering, this is going to go beyond Wicked Wonderland. This is going to go beyond your wildest imaginations for a story. I have really loved for many years telling my versions of stories, and that may have included me sitting here in front of my camera, in front of my microphone with a Mickey Mouse coffee mug, drinking herbal tea because I'm about to die. But the thing is, the way that you tell a story is all about how people love your videos. And if you can't tell a story, then people aren't really going to respond to your videos well. So what I wanted to do is, while telling you this story, I wanted it to be told from the perspective of a relatable guy who loved Disney with all of his heart, as you get from my backdrop of my YouTube videos here with so many Disney stuffies, throwing in a bit of Sonic there. The story behind Sonic the Hedgehog was always that Sonic was one of my favorite characters of all time, because Sonic was just thought of as a hero, and he loved everybody, just as SpongeBob SquarePants. No matter how annoying the guy seemed to be, he was forever resilient. So it's really a toss-up between Sonic and SpongeBob, but I've loved them for forever. And there you see Pikachu, my Pokemon passion, on display there. A couple of Mickey Mouses thrown in there as well. I have forever supported what you guys have wanted talked about and what you believed in with all of your heart. And I would just like to take this moment to say thank you to every girl who has ever saw something special in every video that I've ever uploaded, because over 95% of my fans are all girls. And I want you guys to know that what you did for me and what you did for this YouTube channel, having made it your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, because oftentimes it's very difficult to give people what they love and what they want. What you did for this YouTube channel, having made it your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, I will never forget any of you because of it. What I want you guys to do, what I would like for you guys to do, is hit my subscribe button. Not because I want to get anything out of it or from it. I want you to hit the subscribe button because you love Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, because the truest fans of Descendants of Zombies have subscribed here, and I would love for you to be a part of these conversations, because there are many more for us yet to have and to have fun with. Because I think when you can take a hope for somebody and you can expand it into something so wonderful, to touch the heart of somebody, that is the most rewarding feeling that you could ever possibly have or ever receive from being a YouTube content creator. Guys, thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and having a very special place in your heart for a guy who may be suffering from a cold, possibly a zombie infection. I really don't know. But I guess that's the reason why this has become everybody's favorite YouTube channel of all time. Because the guy's crazy, he loves Descendants of Zombies, you're just as crazy, and we fit perfectly together. And we've really become the best of friends, and that's what makes these videos so fun. So thank you so much from my heart to yours. On this night, over 8.5 years ago, we were all sitting in front of our TV saying to everybody around us, we all got to stop what we're doing because Zombies is coming on. And from the very first moment we saw Zombies in 2018, it would go on to hold a very special place in our heart, go on to achieve so much rarity and recognition for its beautiful story between two characters who all they ever wanted was to spend the rest of their lives together, no matter what the cost. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a really beautiful story that doesn't deserve criticism, that deserves to be given a chance and present hope and really true love for everybody out there, no matter how far away it may seem to be from everybody who may have ever taken a chance on Zombies. If you have ever subscribed here to this YouTube channel, then obviously, yes, you are a true fan of Descendants of Zombies. Just as sure as it's dust behind me tonight, thank you so much for allowing me to have been a part of your lives and represented you as your voice of Descendants of Zombies. It has been my profound honor to meet each and every one of you and present the content that you forever and always loved and appreciated, knowing everything there is to know about it. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and most of all, thank you so much for having watched this video.